So for the first time ever today, I was able to go to an Apple store. It was new iPhone day, but it's also new Apple Watch day. So I picked up the Apple Watch Series 10. I really strongly thought about the gold, but that's not what we got. Sorry, you gotta take off the stupid box first. I went ahead and got it in the new jet black, which is dope because we're going to be able to compare it against the old version of the black Apple Watch. The new jet black is like a very shiny black. It's very shiny. The old one was just more matte. That is entirely the difference between the two, color-wise. The screen's bigger, a bunch of fun stuff for the Series 10. Screen's bigger, better underwater. It's much thinner, and that is quite apparent, actually. So that's dubs. But the thing everybody's been waiting for was my decision on what phone I was going to get. I'm currently using the iPhone 15 Pro, just the base, not the Max. I, for the first time since the Pro models have existed, went with a non-Pro. I got the 16 Plus in this, I don't know what they're calling the pink. They might just be calling it pink. But I got it in pink because the pink was by far the prettiest color. Look at this phone, man. That's a pretty phone. Even on camera, it looks more muted than it actually is. It is a very vibrant pink, and I am super stoked about that, and about the satisfying peel that doth exist. Let's get that first iPhone boot. Look at that. But yeah, I'm very excited. New phone. It's new iPhone day, man. This is Christmas to me. And I don't know if I get Christmas next year, so I'm excited that I got it this year. I've been using the iPhone 16 Plus now for 2 weeks. Just about. Bought it on launch day, my first time ever at an Apple store. And I, as somebody coming from the 15 Pro, have a lot to say about this phone. Now, I do want to start with, yes, I was one of the people who decided to go from a Pro model to a base model iPhone. Because this year of all years, there is a nearly zero reason to buy the Pro model phone. Basically, the benefits are the telephoto lens, so I guess if you use that a lot, there's a reason for a Pro phone. But video-wise, and even 95% of pictures-wise, this is just as good. All of the AI features are coming to this phone. The new camera button, which I have used a surprisingly large amount of the time. At TwitchCon to get pictures with people, it was great to be able to just click the button twice and take your selfie with whoever or whatever you were doing. The only other feature that the Pro models have right now is the higher refresh rate display. The iPhone 15 Pro has a 120 hertz capable display where the 16 Plus only has 60. Now, I'm not going to be one of those people who sits here and tries to tell you, you can't see more than 60 hertz. That's false. Now, some people can't. But a lot of people, me included, can tell the difference between 60 and 120. The thing is, because of the way Apple does its variable refresh rate, 95% of the time, it's not at 120 and it's defaulting to 60 anyways. When you're watching content, it's at 60. When you're swiping around, most of the time it's at 60. It's normally only ever at 120 in like games, and I don't game on my phone. 99% of the time, you won't notice a difference phone to phone. Now, maybe, I notice it sometimes just like swiping on my phone, but it's not. I'm sorry, it's not $300 worth of a difference. Not enough has changed. The display is still really, really good to look at. I still think the display on my Galaxy Z Fold 5 is slightly better, but that's neither here nor there. There is almost no reason to buy the Pro phone, especially for the added money.
And I mean, who could resist this pink color? Look at that pink color. The blue is also nice. The green's okay. But there was no reason that I could justify the Pro model this year. And I haven't used a base model iPhone in a very long time. It's not that bad, man. It's actually really good. And I know there was a lot of discourse surrounding this phone, talking about like, oh, well, the upgrades aren't huge. And yeah, welcome to every phone ever, you fucking moron. What did the Galaxy S24 do better than the 23, than the 22? They're all the same. Tech can only get so much better now. You're only going to see slight improvements. Apple's resorted to adding buttons to make phones more feature-packed. It's a ridiculous argument that I've seen, and it's really stupid. I don't think you should upgrade your phone every year. There's almost no reason to. I've done it so that I can keep the old phone as a camera. That was how I did things in the past, is I would just be upgrading my camera every year for recording YouTube videos. Now that I have an actual camera, I don't need to do that. So this will probably be the phone I use for 2 or 3 years at this point. I'm not going to be doing upgrades every year. I've thought about it, maybe for reviews still, but I kind of doubt it because there's almost going to be no point. And there will be other people who do that. Maybe it'll be a different story later, but right now it's hard to justify the $800, $900 on another non-Pro model, or another $1,000 or $1,200 on a Pro model phone for nothing. Now, what I can say about my experience using the 16 Plus is I think the plus-sized phones now are way too big. I genuinely don't like how big this phone is, and I know the 16 Pro Max is bigger, and that's insane. I don't need a phone this big, and I don't know, outside of like Shaquille O'Neal, who does. I already missed the form factor of my 15 Pro. It's nicer in the hand. It's easier to use. Now, the 16 Plus, I will say, has some major improvements over the 15. A big one being this phone does not get as hot. You can actually use this phone for extended periods of time. The battery life, I know this is a Plus and that was a regular size, but the iPhone 15 Pro was supposed to have better battery life than like the regular 15 and the 15 Plus last year. This phone probably has double the battery life. It is incredible how good the battery has been on this. I don't need to charge up during the day. I've used my phone for over 6 hours of screen on time today, watching videos and stuff. And it has been off the charger for about 15 hours now, and I have 34% left. Like, been watching TikTok, been watching YouTube, been listening to music, replying to texts, all sorts of stuff. Obviously, that's not gaming, but I don't know. Don't expect your phone to be that crazy when you're gaming, obviously. The camera's been incredible, and just the improvement, the like quality of life improvements over the 15 are what make this phone like genuinely worth using. I also like that the stupid 5G antenna that was like on the side of this phone is gone now and has just turned into a button. That's kind of nice. But yeah, moving forward, I definitely won't be getting the Plus model ever again. It's just too big, man. It's just too big. That's what she said, I guess. Most of the improvements you're going to get phone to phone now are just software updates. And iOS 18, outside of being kind of poorly, like, visually designed, but they've allowed more customization now, so it doesn't matter because you can just customize things. iOS 18 is definitely an improvement. I am loving that, and I think this phone, if you are a person that is still on an iPhone, 13 or older, then the 16 is going to be a huge upgrade and you're going to love it. If you're on a 14 or a 15, don't waste your time buying a new phone. You don't need it yet. Now, if you just want a new phone every year, fine. I'm not going to judge you for wanting one. But don't pretend you need to upgrade every year. You don't. There isn't anyone in the world who actually needs to. And Apple knows that. That's why they don't push trying to sell the phone. They just want to keep you in the ecosystem. Keep getting purchases through the App Store. Keep getting accessory purchases, all of that. They don't want you to buy every new phone. They'll take your money if you're going to, though, obviously. But that's not their goal, is to sell you every new phone, because they make so much money just by keeping you in the ecosystem. They're making basically the same amount of money if you just keep the 15 Pro until it stops functioning. And that's better for everybody if you just keep using your phone for as long as you can use your phone. So that is what I recommend doing. But is this a good phone? Is this a phone worth buying? Absolutely. To throw it out there, I got the new Apple Watch Series 10. It feels no different. It is slightly lighter, and being thinner, I actually do like it, but you don't really notice 90% of the time. And I don't use the screen enough ever to notice that it's bigger. Like, that genuinely doesn't matter. Battery life is great. I love that. But outside of that, it's not doing much for me. That's what I know. So let me know your thoughts on the new iPhones down below. I'd love to hear that argument. Let's do it. I'm ready to go 10 rounds. But without further ado, I think that'll do it for me. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.